Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Today, guys, you are about to hear my conversation with Henrik Lund, the CEO of Naturli-Foods. Naturli-Foods is a cross-category vegan brand that produces plant-based options, dairy products, like for example, its famous oats drink without any added sugars, alternatives to meat like burgers, patties, minced kind of beef, but not beef as you can imagine because it's vegan, alternative to chicken. Also, it produces alternatives to butters, spreadable and as a brick for cooking, alternatives to ice creams, and Henrik thinks that their ice cream is the best ice cream ever. So they have around 60 products in their range. They strive hard every day to embrace mainstream consumers, to help consumers to be the change and try a greener diet with benefits for themselves and the planet Earth. Our conversation was really interesting, guys. You're gonna learn a lot about how peas and beans turn into ice creams or milks or minced beef or a burger. How does it happen exactly, right? So you're gonna learn more about this process. And then also you're gonna learn about some of the ingredients that are put into vegan products and why they're put there. So it's an interesting conversation that you're gonna learn more about products that are entering your plate, your food plate today, and you're gonna know more about our food system and some of the products, alternative vegan products on the market. So without further ado, please enjoy our interesting, educational, and fascinating conversation with Henrik Lund, the CEO of Naturli-Foods.
Our brand Naturli, which is we are situated in Denmark, the little kingdom of Denmark, and our company was founded many years ago, back in 1988.
Oh, wow.
So actually, Naturli is the pioneer in Denmark when it comes to plant-based products within food solutions.
Didn't know that.
But a fun fact is that for the first 25 years, we only had 7 products, and that was alternatives to milk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, soy drink, rice drink, almond drink, oat drink. And then later, actually, 5 years ago, because we have a lot of followers on social media. We have 350,000 people who are following Naturli on Instagram and Facebook, and we have a lot of interaction with them. Our community, they help us, giving us ideas for new products, helping us with their recipes, how they use our products, and so on. And for many years, they asked us, couldn't you go into other categories than milk alternatives? And then 5 years ago, we said, yes, we're going to do. We're going to make a shift. We will make Naturli a cross-category brand. And today we are in dairy. We are in the fresh meat aisles in the supermarkets. We are in frozen. We have frozen meat substitutes. We have our own vegan ice cream factory.
Mm-hmm.
We are also in dry grocery and in confectionery. So I actually think that when you see the world of plant-based food brands today, we're one of the only brands that are cross-category.
Mm-hmm.
And 95% of the products we produce in our 5 factories in Denmark.
Yes, so you are popular, I guess, in Denmark. Did you, by the way, guys?
We are very popular in Denmark, and it's also because the DNA in Naturli is taste. Everything
Mm-hmm.
about taste, and we strive to deliver a really high quality and we also strive to make plant-based products that works one-to-one with the versus the animal alternatives.
And what do you mean by high quality? I often hear, this like words high quality, but what exactly does high quality mean for you as a brand? How do you like source your ingredients and produce your products?
Exactly. Priority one is the taste. Taste is everything. If the product doesn't taste good, the consumer will never buy your products again. But quality is much more than only taste. It's also functionality and of course quality, like in the freshness of the product. And to give you an example, I can say that our meat substitutes that we in Denmark and in other countries, for example in the UK and in Australia, they are placed in the meat aisle together with meat. We have a shelf life of 24 days on our chilled products, and you can only have that kind of shelf life if you produce a very, very high quality and you produce it under very, very strict risk assessment when it comes to hygiene and quality. So that is something that is very important for our company.
You have quite a lot of products that you mentioned, right? And I'm curious, as a lot of listeners, I'm sure, are too, how exactly do you turn different plant ingredients like peas or beans or, all of these ingredients or nuts or oats into a substitute of some sort? Like, how does a pea become some sort of meat or, like...
Yeah.
Could you walk us through a little bit through the process?
It is very simple, but the process is very complicated. But if you take the pea, then you have the small green peas, and you dry them, and because you want to remove the water content, and then you make it into a flour. And then you actually run it through what you call a texturizing process. And you can do either dry texturization or you can do wet texturization. And then it comes out and looks like a little like a snack, like if you took a potato chip. And then you have a concentrated protein content in this little snack, and that you can use in your production of, for instance, meat substitutes. And then you would again tumble it with adding water, adding spices, adding fat, and you would tumble and process it, and then you run it through some of the same machinery that you see in a slaughterhouse, and the only difference is that we don't kill any animals, and then we can produce something that looks like meat but isn't meat. It's made out of plants, but you can use it for the same purposes in the kitchen as you do with minced beef. So it's actually it is taking the finest proteins from nature and process it into a unique plant protein that you can use in your production to make and offer and deliver the same high standard when it comes to product quality each time you deliver to your customers and to the consumers.
A few questions I have about this process. Like, could you explain in a couple of words what is texturizing? Like, I just don't think I understand, and a lot of like listeners understand what exactly it means. Like, is anything removed from the source ingredients or added during that process?
No. You make a dough. You take the plant protein concentrate and you add water and you make a dough and you run it through it's like a snail and with different zones where you treat the dough with different kinds of temperatures, and the snail can run forwards and backwards. And during this time, it's in the snail. That's where the texturization happens.
Okay, so it's more like changes of temperatures and I guess pressure, maybe, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm also, curious always as a nutritionist, why there are so many other ingredients usually besides the like, peas and spices. Like specifically, I'm curious about oils, like different kinds of fats and oils that are not naturally in those products, and then some of the maybe things like different fibers. Why do like companies add those to the products? Like, what's the main reason?
Because if you go to if you go to a real burger joint and get a real beef patty in your hamburger, I will guess that the fat content of that burger patty is between 20 and 25%, because the fat, first of all, it holds the product together, it binds, it gives some taste, and we are aiming for the same thing when we do meat substitutes, because if you didn't add any fat, it would be a very dry experience frying it on your pan or on the barbecue. So the fat, first of all, it is part of the binding system in your product, and it also adds to the juiciness you want in the product. And we use coconut oil and rapeseed oil in combinations, and that works really, really well.
What are the qualities of those oils? Like, how are they made? I'm sure you were asked that question a lot. Like, are they, cold press? Are they some refined or made some other way?
When we use rapeseed oil, we use refined rapeseed oil, because otherwise, if you're a mainstream consumer buying a meat substitute, you would the product, and also the same goes for the coconut oil. If you use cold pressed oils, your product would taste of coconut and rapeseed, and it would totally overdose anything else that you put into the product. So we use refined vegetable oils. In Denmark we have these beautiful rapeseed fields all over the country right now, actually, with the yellow flowers, and very, very beautiful. So we use rapeseed oil and coconut oil for the meat substitutes. When it comes to our another famous Naturli product, our Naturli spreadable, a vegan butter that actually tastes like butter but is 100% plant-based. We use coconut oil, rapeseed oil, and also shea butter oil from shea nut.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, because these days, like, there are so many products, and a lot of people just want to understand like why it's made this way, and what's added to the products and why it's there. I also wanted to ask you, let me see, nutrition. What do you pay attention to when it comes to nutrition, like nutrient content, maybe, amount of protein or fat or carbs or vitamins and minerals? Like, what is important to you when you make your products?
We are focused on not getting too high salt content. when it comes to meat substitute, for example. And also very, very careful about the amount of fat in our minced product. We have a 10% fat content, and then we also look very much on the protein content, that it levels with if you had a animal alternative, that you get the same amount of protein. If you make a sauce bolognese or lasagna with a plant-based minced product versus the minced beef. So that we are focused on when it comes to meat substitutes. When it comes to dairy products, we look very much on the differences between the different kinds of fats, especially on saturated fat. That we have the right balance between the different fat types, and also that we add, for instance, calcium. So you get in a Naturli drink, you can get the same amount of calcium as you get from cow milk. And we're also looking very much into adding vitamins, like vitamin B12, B2, D vitamin. So that you have some nutritional benefits from the Naturli plant-based products as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you compare, by any chance, nutritional profiles when it comes to vitamins and minerals to some of the meat products, like maybe beef, that is usually higher in zinc? Do you compare those things, or?
Yes, we have been looking into that, but actually when it comes to meat substitutes, we're not that eager to add iron, zinc, and these kinds of minerals, because we very much believe in Naturli in clean label products. So we do our utmost to not having those very, very long ingredient lists on the products, and because we also believe when you're going from if we're talking meat, when you're going from meat to plant-based, it will be a journey that is divided into phases. The first thing you do is buying something that looks like meat, but it's made out of plants. That's pretty easy, because that way you can identify with your eyes that, wow, it looks like something that I'm used to work with in my kitchen. So it sort of unmystify the product, and that is a good example for that is the Naturli minced. But we also believe that the next phase for mainstream consumers coming into plant-based would be to nudge them to work themselves in their kitchens with vegetables. And we're also looking into doing more, could you say, whole food products made out of very, very few ingredients. That is, really, really transparent products. That is what we strongly believe in, and that we are on a journey where we will end in a landscape of plant-based products that won't look like meat, and they will have all colors from nature, and it will actually just be a new food culture that we are building. But the journey towards that, we need to have something that looks like what people are eating in their daily lives. So that is what we believe in. But we pay attention to the nutritional facts, because I also strongly believe that on the backside of COVID-19, the humankind will have there will be a huge focus on your own individual health. How can I secure that if we ever, and we hope not, a pandemic will hit the world again, that I can secure that I won't be in the group of risk for getting this pandemic? How can I secure that I have the best health? What can I do of nutritional benefits to my own body and soul. So therefore, we are very involved in the nutritional side of our products.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that, because especially, with this pandemic, it made it clear that people do need to pay more attention to nutrition, because it seems that the most severe cases are with people who are not paying too much attention to nutrition and lifestyle, and specifically deficient in certain nutrients.
Exactly. And you can say that right now we are in 6 different science projects with Danish universities where we are looking into all the lovely types of legumes that we have, and looking into what benefits we can have from each type of legume into a plant-based product, to have a very, very strong nutritional list on the product and benefits. And for instance, from nature you can find a lot of the amino acids that we need in our diet. So this is something that we focus very much on in our work.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I absolutely love your approach and vision that you understand that, it's 2-step process. Like first you want people to transition to more familiar foods, but plant-based, and then to more natural foods that are naturally plant-based and don't look like any meat. So that's amazing.
And an example is that we are involved in a science project that is funded by the Danish government, and it runs for 3 years together with the Danish technological university, and it goes. This product is about if we can extract plant protein from grass. Green grass grows everywhere. And grass, it grows 90% of the year. You can harvest it maybe 12 times a year. And it has a high content of protein. It has a lot of the essential amino acids. So we're actually trying to do that through refinery sessions on the grass. And in time, we will hopefully could be able to use it for human consumption. And I think that is a project with a huge potential, because we know for a fact that not many years from now we will be much more people on planet Earth, and we will have to eat and drink differently and more sustainable than we do today, because otherwise we won't have enough farming land to feed all people on this beautiful Earth.
Yeah, I think it's of course using much less animals, and just in general also wasting much less, because it's estimated that we waste 30% of our food, and then just maybe making our eating habits as a society in general more ordered, not like all over the place, like too much of one thing and too little of the other thing. So I'm also very hopeful, about that future where we have something better, something more sustainable.
Yeah, and of course it won't happen tomorrow, and it's not black or white. It's not either or. It's nudging mainstream consumers to eat more plant-based, and when they start eating more plant-based, because I haven't always been only a plant eater. I've drinking thousands of liters of cow milk and eaten a lot of meat, but you feel on your own body when you go plant-based 100% that you get so much more energy. Your body doesn't use all the energy on digesting all the animal protein, so you get a very, very good digestion, and it just frees energy for your daily life. And I think that is one of the wonderful effects by shifting to a plant-based diet. Apart from that, it's very climate friendly when it comes to what we have to do to fight climate change as we see it, because I think we can agree on that COVID-19 is a terrible pandemic, but climate changes that will be even worse if it doesn't do something and fight the increasing temperatures all over the world.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to address it, and food is one of the biggest systems that affect our whole Earth, everyone on Earth. So we'll all be working on it for sure.
Yeah.
Now let's go into more fun part of Naturli brand and foods. So you mentioned that you are entirely plant-based. You are eating only plant foods. How long have you been eating this way, by the way?
That I have done over 2 years now. And yeah, it's just lovely because it was actually a natural weight loss, because that is one of the fantastic things for when you go into a balanced plant-based diet, that your weight will slowly decrease, and you will find the natural level on your could you say, or at least for me, my normal weight level. So that was lovely, losing weight and getting more energy. Super cool.
Okay. I've been I was a vegan for almost 5 years in my life, but then I transitioned to a diet with inclusion of animal products because it just didn't feel right. But
Yeah.
I'm sure for some people it might work when you learn how to get all the nutrients your body needs from plant foods. What I'm also curious about, when you employ somebody in your company, is it a requirement for all of them to?
No, it's not a demand. It's not a demand, but no, and we have meat eaters in the staff as well. But I would say that for myself and our, for instance, our R&D manager, it is a lifestyle. We are, you could say, living the Naturli way, living the brand. So it's not 8 to 4 and then back to the barbecue and throw a filet mignon on the barbecue. That doesn't work for some of us. But it's not like that we have a demand that people should, if they want to work in Naturli, that they should be eating only plant-based. Not at all.
Okay.
But we are very different. You could say we are. The perception of Naturli is that we are a startup company, because we are not. We are very, very different from other food companies that you see in the world. We have zero structure and we have 100% culture. So we are a culture born brand, and that works for us because we are in many ways a disruptive brand, because speed is our competitive edge. Speed to market is everything. So when we get an idea, we want to develop it tomorrow and launch it the day after. So we don't deal with some companies, they have 5 years plans of what they will launch, but who knows what the world would look like in 5 years time. So we have a very short view on the future, and what we work a lot with is to offer people who would like a meat-free and a milk-free day a really, really good experience with plant-based food. They can take Naturli by the hand and start using our products from when they get up in the morning, in the breakfast solutions, the snackification times of the day, and lunchtime, dinner time, and even when they're lying on their couch watching a good movie, they can start scooping our really, maybe I would say maybe the best vegan ice cream in the world, or maybe the best ice cream in the world. They can start scooping it directly from -18 because it is so creamy and tasteful. And we actually have our own bakery where we bake vegan inclusions. So we do our own cookie dough and those types of cake inclusions into the ice cream. And all our ice cream are based on our organic plant-based milk alternatives from Naturli. So we are on a journey, and for us it's very important that we can offer that it is easy to navigate when you come into a supermarket. If you want to eat climate-friendly, plant-based, just navigate for the Naturli brand, and you will be on your good way into a plant-based experience.
And you mentioned a few countries where you sell. Can you tell us again what those are? Like,
it's something completely new for us selling outside Denmark, and it all started back in January in 2018 when we launched as the first company in the world a full vegan meat substitute called minced that looked like minced beef. So we're first mover in that segment. Before that, there were other companies that had plant-based patties and so on. But we believed that we want to do like a component product, a natural product that you bring to the consumers. They take it home to their kitchen, and they do with the minced what they would like to do. They can fry it up like minced and use it in lasagna and sauce bolognese or topping on Tex-Mex. They can form a burger patty and make a beautiful and really good tasting hamburger. They can use it for all kinds of dishes that they would like, and they can spice this natural product in the direction they want to take the dinner course. So I think that was just epic, and we had so much media hype in Denmark back in 2018 around this new product that the largest retailer in Denmark, they said, this is such a good product that we're going to place it in the fresh meat aisle. And nationwide television, they had it in the news, in the newspapers, on the front of the page. Now you can buy plant meat in the supermarkets alongside the red meat. And actually it was such a success that after 2 weeks of selling, it was sold out each day at between 10 and 11. The stores didn't have no more product. So we had to move the production to a larger facility where we could produce even more. And then I think it was a UK-based newspaper that thought, what is going on in Denmark? Everybody's talking about this new product. And then they started writing about it, and supermarkets starts calling us. And then suddenly here today, 2 years after, we are in 17 markets around the world, as far away as New Zealand, Australia. We are in the UK, we are in Germany, Norway, a lot of countries. And if it hadn't been for COVID-19, we would also be in the US. But we will definitely one day be in the US and in Canada as well, and in other parts of America, South America as well. So it's like a roller coaster. It's like a mission to Mars. It's an adventure of totally new dimensions for the staff and all the lovely people working in Naturli. So it's really fun, and it's so fun launching a new product in a new market all the time. We just launched our frozen range in the UK. We have a gluten-free meat-free range that we just launched in the UK. We have I would say the best pizzas, frozen pizzas in the world, Mexicana style, capricciosa style, with plant-based pork style on top. It's amazing.
You have pizzas too? I just don't see it like on your website. Maybe it's
If you
somewhere
go
else.
to, I think they will be on the international website later this week. If you go to the Danish website, you can see the full assortment from Naturli. We have around 60 products, and we have 10 frozen items and 2 pizzas in the assortment as well. So it's frozen pizzas, and I would say if you bake one of the pizzas and go to a mainstream consumers and just say, would you like to have a slice of pizza? They
Mhm.
wouldn't even know that it wasn't containing any milk or meat, because it is one-to-one.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be, that's what plant-based is all about. It shouldn't be a sacrifice saying no to meat and milk.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember, when like long time ago, probably like 10 years, even more, when there was like vegan movement, they had pizzas, but those pizzas were, they kind of look like pizzas, but they never tasted like pizzas, and you
Yeah, yeah,
needed to use all of your imagination to like
yeah, exactly,
make you think
exactly.
it
But
was
this
pizza.
is the real thing. I think actually it could be good to when Europe opens up again. Maybe I should take the electric car and drive to Napoli or Rome and make a pizza test there. I think it would be great.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Could be
I need to
the
try that.
definitive test. And I think I would succeed with that because, yeah, really, really good products.
Yeah, when you do it, let me know. I'd like to see the
I will do that.
results.
I'll do that. I promise
uh,
you.
what about your favorite products? Like, do you use a lot of Naturli products now, or you mostly eat other like natural plant-based foods, like vegetables, pulses, and
No, of course, some of the products I use more. A good example is our Naturally Spreadable, this vegan butter, because this is just this is where we are beyond one-to-one. And in Denmark, you can find it in all supermarkets in Denmark. It's placed next to butter. In the UK, you can find it next to Lurpak. And this product, it tastes like butter. It's made from shea butter, coconut oil, rapeseed oil, and then we use almonds. It has the same melting points as real butter, so you get
Mhm.
totally the same experience as if you used butter. And the almond notes, they like text messaging the brain that, hey, we are in butterland. And that is just it's a product that just works beyond one-to-one, and that is so lovely. And actually that product is in all 17 markets outside Denmark today. And that is an example. And every time we develop a new product, we always look each other in the eyes and say it has to be as good as our Naturally Spreadable. So that is like the KPI now for product development and innovations. But I use that a lot.
Mhm.
You can use it on your oatmeal, on the bread, and you can use it for baking. We have a product in a tub, like a vegan spreadable in a tub, and we also have like a vegan block where it looks like butter in a paper.
Mhm.
Really, really good for baking and frying. So that I use a lot, and then I drink loads of oat milk. I just love oat milk and also almond milk. Um, those are my favorites. Then from time to time, 2-3 times a week, I use some of our meat substitutes in the cooking. But plant-based, it also make you curious. What can you make from veggies? Buying vegetables in the supermarket. How can you make the most delicious courses in the world just from buying vegetables and use more time in the kitchen? Because of course, a lot of the Naturli products are a helping hand in a hectic everyday life. So it is all about convenience. But if you have time, I indulge all people to go in the kitchen and use more energy on using vegetables, more vegetables in their cooking, because it's so tasteful, and slow cooking and frying vegetables up just releases all these notes of umami and flavors. So there's so many ways that you can combine vegetables. So that's just lovely.
Yeah, for me, although I'm not entirely plant-based, vegetables are always a main course, and then the rest of the stuff is the side dish. Um, yeah, and it's a journey, It's like every time I get new vegetable, I'm like, oh, I wonder what does it taste like and what I can make out of it. It's like an adventure.
Exactly. I agree completely. So it's just lovely, and it's just getting started. Try one day each week, then 2 days, and try to come into the plant-based universe slowly, one day at a time. That works.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Henrik, for sharing all of this, your
You're welcome.
personal
It was a
vision.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. But is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners? Like maybe your vision of the future for Naturli and food world in general, also maybe some advice and final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that we need to eat less meat for our own sake, for the sake of planet Earth, and also for the sake of animals. Live kindly and eat more plants would be my best advice, and make Earth green again, because the balance between nature and man. We have to restore the balance. We humans, we take more from nature than we give back, and we have to restore that balance for the sake of our children and grandchildren. And I think that is very important. And then, of course, I would like to endorse everybody. If you are on Instagram, you can visit Naturli on Instagram and see the beautiful universe. If you want to follow me, you can go to Naturli_Henrik. You will be very welcome to do that. Or you can also visit our website at naturli-foods.com.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share all these links in the show notes.
This is beautiful. Very nice.
Listeners could just
very
click and look.
And then, of course, I would like to wish all the listeners a wonderful summer and take care of there. And and then I think we all look forward to ending this COVID-19 nightmare and get on with our lives, and that the world can open up again.
Yeah, for sure. We are all looking forward for that. That's been something for all of us. Thank you, Henrik, again for taking the time for sharing all these, facts and information and your personal passion for Naturli-Foods. I'm sure a lot of listeners learned a lot, and probably a lot of listeners will look into different plant-based options available to either
and choose those with a big Naturli on the packaging. All right.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you, Angela.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you, Henrik. And I wish you a wonderful rest of the day and a great summer. And we'll stay in touch.
And the same to you. Cheers.
So guys, you just listen to our conversation with Henrik Lund, and you probably can't wait to try some of those amazing mouth-watering, burgers or maybe ice creams or spreadables. But before you do that, I'd like to share with you why I don't use any of those products, Naturli-Foods, including the main reason behind me not recommending and not using any of those products, The main reason is vegetable oils. Naturli-Foods brand, for example, they use rapeseed oil and refined coconut oil. In some products, I also saw canola oil. And all of those oils are refined because refined oils, well, first of all, as we talked on the podcast, they do not have any specific taste that help it to meld with whatever they're added to create the texture without any like coconut flavor or I don't know, olive oil flavor or rapeseed flavor, right? But they also are more shelf stable. But guys, refined oils, from all the information that I have at my disposal, from some of the lead nutritionists like Dr. Kate Shanahan, who wrote Deep Nutrition, who is also a nutritionist on board of some famous sports team like Los Angeles Lakers, and that has been working with a lot of celebrities and athletes. So, for example, on her website, what can we read about refined oils and refining process? So the refining process not only strips away antioxidants, it makes polyunsaturated fats toxic by exposing them to heat, pressure, metals, and bleaching agents. This chemically alters the molecules into a wide variety of potent toxins with long names that I'm not going to bore you with. These molecules are toxic because they promote free radical reactions that damage our cellular machinery, including mitochondria or energy-producing plants of our cells, hormones, receptors, enzymes, and DNA. And then a little bit more about the refining process, again from the same website. So give me a few seconds as I find this extract about the process of refining of our oil. So refining, this is performed to remove the free fatty acid which would contribute to a rancid taste, or basically will make oils go bad. That is not necessarily a bad thing, because whole foods do go bad, and when you do something to make them not go bad, that is usually not a great news. This is accomplished with either an acid or bleaching agent. And what is, bleaching, for example? This is performed to remove chlorophyll, or that stuff that makes the plants green. Chlorophyll must be removed from polyunsaturated fats because it promotes rapid oxidation or going bad of those fats and would lead to a very sludgy, sticky oil that wouldn't pour out of the bottle very well. While bleaching improves the pour ability, it also generates partially oxidized polyunsaturated fats compounds. These are highly toxic compounds that promote oxidative stress in our bodies and can damage our DNA. And then after bleaching, in refining, there is also coming deodorizing. That is performed to remove flavor compounds that Henrik was talking about on our podcast, so they don't taste like coconut or anything, which would come from chemicals originally present in the seed, like coconut or rapeseed. And so the process of deodorizing removes flavor compounds as well as byproducts of the above steps of refining, like bleaching and other. Deodorizing is performed by heating the oil again to 265 degrees Celsius or 500 degrees Fahrenheit and forcing steam through it to try to capture the volatile materials and all the flavor compounds. So as you can see, guys, refining process is basically what you would do if you decided to heat up your oil to like 300 degrees and then bleach it with different agents and then consider that healthy food. Like, I'm having a hard time considering that to be a part of a healthy diet on a regular basis. And that's why I personally would never recommend any products, vegan or not, with those oils. But it's not at all the problem of vegan products. Actually, Henrik's company, Naturli-Foods, they have really clean ingredient list and amazingly pure intentions to make the best product for us and the planet. But the more research needs to be done for these specific vegetable oils, refined oils ingredients. And this is not the problem at all, again, of vegan foods. So like if you take regular pizza, you're gonna find there trans fat, hydrogenated oil, and all this stuff, plus the animal products with antibiotics and hormones. So that is definitely worse. Naturli-Foods, they again have really amazing ingredient list, except for those oils that I would really reconsider if I was the company equally dedicated to human health as the health of the planet. So what you would do, it's up to you guys. And this is the end of our podcast today. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.